Hello viewers, I am your host Mariam Kamara and you're watching Jungle Online TV. It's your manly man show, and as you know how we do it all the time, we bring in somebody in the studios and interview him. Sometimes we talk about his life, sorry. Sometimes we bring in topics, important topics that will contribute towards the development of the Gambia. Anyway, today I have a young man here who said his life is not that much interesting. So I think I gotta let him say hi to you guys, then we will go on with whatever topic we are going to talk about because I don't think he wants to talk about his life. Let's try and see, guys. Let's try. Say hi to them and tell
So,
them who
hi
you are.
everyone. My name is Mamadou Ba. Recently came from Germany, and I'm a political science student. And I'm here, but I don't know what is the main purpose of me being here. So, I guess I'm also very curious right now. So, let's hear from her.
Guys, did you hear that again? At first, he said his life is not that much interesting. Now, he doesn't know why he is here. Anyway, I'll try to put him on the way, tell him why he is here and what he's supposed to do. We got to guide him. He's just from nursery school anyway. Anyway, I would want you to tell me some of the schools you've attended before studying political science.
Yeah, well, I went to Germany as a refugee 2016. So, I decided to, my main goal was to be a football player, because I used to love playing football. So as I arrived in Germany, I started playing, and I realized that, this is not a future for me, because I had to operate my knee. I had something called meniscus. I don't know the English term. So after that, I decided to shift my priorities. I decided to focus on school. So luckily I was able to learn the language as fast as possible. And we were put in an international class where people have the opportunity to learn about the German language. So one of my teachers said, the fact that I came so soon and was able to speak so much in German, she told me to try gymnasium. It's the best school system in Germany. We have, it's divided into 4 categories. We have Gymnasium, Realschule, Gesamtschule, and Hauptschule. I don't know the English terms, of course.
You should know the English terms. You should know the English terms.
I should have,
yeah,
yes.
But before going to Germany.
Here?
Yeah.
Well, I went to Bakote proper, for example. I never went to nursery school.
Primary?
Primary was Bakote proper. And then I went to Greater Banjul Upper Basic School, also known as PS. And I was also a student of Job.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, before I left the country, yeah.
For high school?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, you've mentioned that in Germany, what you were studying, you have 4 levels, which you don't know the name in English, isn't it?
Yeah.
So have you completed all of those levels?
No, these are different sectors, different categories, different school system, it's the system. So, like, we have Gymnasium, best school, and then we have Berufscollege, Gesamtschule, and Realschule, and Hauptschule. It's actually 5. So this teacher of mine said that, because I did very well in the language class, maybe I should go to Gymnasium and try my luck there. So I went there and started grade 8. And luckily, I was able to pass all my exams, and then I came further to the normal gymnasium class, the normal A-level class, with the German students. But problem which I experienced often was discrimination, and they were so judgmental. The fact that being a black person coming there as a refugee and being in such an elite school, it was for them unbelievable. So even teachers were telling me that I wouldn't make it there. I had different obstacles. I had different challenges, every now and then, you should change school. This is not for you. You're not that smart. You should go back, and all sort of words, But Alhamdulillah, I managed to overcome everything. And now I graduated there, 2021. Yes. And I also have teachers who were supportive enough, to be honest, like Frau Hofmeister. And she was really supportive. She always supported me whenever I needed help. And I also had a problem during this period of time when I was trying to graduate in the school. I was also having a problem with documents in Germany, basically, to stay. Because I went there as an asylum seeker, but I decided to change that after 4 years to apply for the 25A. This enables an individual who came to Germany underage and who is well integrated to have their German document, to have their residential permit. And this is my way through of surviving in Germany, actually. And then later on, I graduated, as I said, 2021, and it was the best moments of my life. because I stood against all odds and I made it, you know. So after that, I decided to pursue political science.
There's one thing that baffles me. What changed? Because if you're not somebody who is determined to learn, and all of a sudden you want to learn, what happened?
Well, the thing is, I came from a family where education was not prioritized. You know, my both parents were illiterate in terms of British whatsoever Western education.
Meaning your orientation towards education was not proper.
Yeah. So as I started here in the Gambia, but school was never my thing. You know, I used to dodge and go and play PlayStation. I love playing football. I love gambling, and so many other stuff. You know, but when I went to Germany, I realized that this is a second chance for me, and I knew where I left my family, where I left my parents. So I knew that I have to do something serious with my life in order to be able to help myself and help my family, but also my fellow brothers and sisters in Germany. And Alhamdulillah, today there are many people who go through certain issues, certain problems, and choose to contact me and seeking for help.
That's great.
I have this chance, I have the possibility to do this because I decided to have patience. Because I remember also when I went to Germany, many people told me, why would you go to school? We are not here to learn, you understand? Many people were telling me, let's find money and so many other stuffs. I decided to have patience. And Alhamdulillah, I'm really proud of that today.
That's great. I will also be patient and I will learn how to endure to be like you. Anyway, I know that you will have obstacles, you will have problems, and you also need finance to help yourself grow.
Yeah.
How did you manage that? Because you were going to school. Were you working as well?
Hence, I was underage. I was not allowed to work. I didn't also have papers. I didn't have documents. I was going to school but didn't have documents. And I was like
I think we
the
needed
immigration officers. Yeah, the immigration office bureau. They had they mixed up my documents. They mixed up all my documents because they couldn't differentiate between three Mamadus. So they just mixed up our details. So this made it impossible for me to have my papers as soon as I was expecting. So I had to wait for 4 years for them to make everything, for them to clarify all these problems. And wait, what was the question again? I
Finances.
Finances, yes, exactly. So I was not allowed to work because I had something called duldum. So I
What's that?
Duldum.
Duldum?
So it's just like you are permitted to stay in the country, but for a short period of time. So you have to every 6 months you have to renew it until they finalize your case whether they can accept you for you to stay like permanently in the country, but with extension of every 3 years or 5 years, something like that.
Okay, hold on. So with all that, you still continue to learn instead of working?
Yes.
Find money?
You cannot work, but if you are underage, you have the state, they support you. You have a social.
What if you were sent packing?
If I was sent back?
Yes. What if they pack you and send you home?
That was not an option for me because
I know it's not an option, but it's a possibility.
If you're underage, they cannot send you back.
They cannot send you
back unless you reach 18. And after I reached 18, they messed up my documents, so they cannot just send me back because I didn't even have my passport. I went there without my passport. So it was impossible for them to send me back. And they couldn't even clarify my identity. So that also plays a very important role. That's why many people, if they arrive in Germany, in France, and many other Western countries, first their identity needs to be clarified. So they ask for their passport, documents, and so on and so forth. So these countries, like these European countries, they classify people's identity in two categories. Whether you are from a safe country or unsafe country. Unsafe country, these people have the possibility to find jobs, you understand. They have support from the state. And coming from a safe country like the Gambia, it's very difficult to stay in Germany, You have to have a very legit story that can help you, a very strong, rigid story that can help you, stay in Germany. At least they can accept your asylum and whatsoever. But that's the problem with many Gambians. That's why many Gambians, when they arrive here, they often say that they are from countries like Guinea-Bissau, countries that are not safe around us, they tend to change their identity because they're scared of giving their identities directly to be sent back to their countries. And this often happens. So in my case, if I was to be deported, that's not an option. I wasn't even thinking about it. That's the problem.
You were not thinking about it. But
I wasn't thinking about it.
Do you know that it's a possibility by then?
It could, it was a possibility. I was well integrated. I was going to gymnasium. So I had nothing to worry. But of course, at some point I was scared. I was really scared because they messed up my documents and then they came to me. You understand? I went to clarify that. So they told me I should stay in the camp. I'm not allowed to go out. So I have to stop going to school. Really, I spent 6 hours in Bochum in a camp where refugees come in and then they register them. I spent there 6 hours because of complications, documents. So I was really scared that I have to stop going to school and then I have to change my location where I used to live. I have to change everything. So my life was about to be a mess. Until after 6 hours, they realized that, okay, they made a mistake. They said I should go back home.
Oh my. How did you feel? How was it like?
It was crazy. I could say for the past 5 years, and also the process I was going to school, I had so many things going on in my life, you understand? It came to a certain point where I was almost homeless. Seriously, because I reached 18 and we have something called Jugendamt, these are people who are choosing, you understand, to take responsibility of minors who came to Germany without their parents, you understand?
Foster parents?
Exactly, foster parents, thank you very much. So if you reach at a certain age, they can still support you, especially if you're going to school and so on. But at some point, they tend to stop the aid, you understand? They tell you to be on your own. So for me, it was difficult for them because they were saying I won't make it in gymnasium. It comes with expenses, but also it was very difficult. It's very rare for someone who came to Germany less than 5 years to go through this school system and also be able to make it. And also to graduate. So for them, it's a waste of time, waste of energy. So they forced me to shift my my direction and go and do something called Ausbildung, skill work. They tried everything, but I insisted. So basically, I had pressure on my teachers, on social workers, and also on some students because you feel left out. You feel different. And I think I was the only black person from Africa.
But you were determined that you would make it, and you made sure that you do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, the thing is, I had nothing to lose. I had a feeling that everyone was against me. So even if I lose, it's what they expected. So I have to fight for myself.
But the universe was not against you.
And the universe? Yes, the universe was never against me. You're right. This is how everything went on with my educational journey, and alhamdulillah, the day I got my results on our graduation day, they called my name. I stood up. I danced like, I don't know, as if I was the best dancer. Really, I was so excited, seriously, because it's happiness. Seeing people sitting right there who never believed in you. And a teacher also called me. He was my chemistry teacher. He called me and said, "You did it." And he was among the people who said, "You know what? You should change your direction because we don't think this is the right school for you." And it often happens not only to me, but to many other people, to many other Gambians, to many other people from Guinea-Conakry. You see, university students from here go to Germany and they want to go through the same procedure I went through, and still they have obstacles, because of discrimination and racism.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really messed up. It's really difficult to survive in such countries. And despite my integration, despite the achievements I have, people still look at me like an outsider.
Over there?
Yeah, over there, of course, yeah.
But do you really feel that you are an outsider?
Honestly speaking, I'm outsider everywhere I go to, because if I go to Germany, they're like, you are not a German, you're a Gambian. So you came here as an immigrant.
And if you come to
Gambia, you are a German. Your lifestyle has changed, your culture, everything about you changes. So I belong to, no, seriously, I have a feeling that I don't have a belonging, I don't have an identity. And it's really sad that many people are going through the same thing, and the fact that many people are exploited for the simple fact that they're from Europe. You come here, but people don't see you as an individual, they see you as a source of income. Everybody comes, Johma. But nobody tends to ask you how you're doing, how's life there, what have you been through. So it shows you that many people are not concerned about what you go through. As far as you are out of the country and you go to a Western country, trust me, even your own family members can go against you.
That's sad, eh?
Yeah, it's quite sad. But I don't blame them because it's what is portrayed, on the media, due to globalization, everybody have access to social media. Everybody have access to certain platforms, where they see people posting things, people showing up and so on. But that's the problem because something is implanted in their minds.
But mind you, all that glitters is not gold. All that glitters is not gold.
Yeah.
Sometimes it glitters, but it's not gold.
But people don't often people are interested in knowing what the reality is. They are focused on what they see. What I see is what's true. Finish. Seriously.
The world is beyond that anyway right now. Germany is taking all of our conversation, and I know we can continue talking till late. We wouldn't finish the whole thing. But Germany aside, let's go to political science.
No problem.
Have you engaged yourself in any political activities since when you started studying political science?
Even before, I was very active and still is. I'm a member of the board of directors in a company called Bundjugend NRW, not Rheinland-Pfalz, and also active in many other institutions, not political, but NGOs also. And these are organizations that prioritize helping refugees, helping immigrants, helping minorities, people who are discriminated. So I'm very active in such organizations. And it's also the reason why I choose to study political science, because I want to understand politics so that I can help people who are less privileged.
How do you intend to help them?
How?
How do you intend to help them?
Because to help someone, you have to understand their system. It is as if you know someone. Like when we talk about the system theory. Now, if I see you smoking every day, you understand, you can smoke every day, and I'll be looking at it and you should stop smoking. This is not good for you. That's just not gonna help you if I don't understand you internally.
If I don't know why you were smoking, I say if I don't know why you were smoking,
exactly.
I shouldn't stop you.
So basically, I have to understand the system in order to use it against. In order to use the system against itself, you understand? In order to help also other people who are deeply in need of help, support, or whatsoever. So that's the thing. You have to talk to the individual who is smoking, what is going on with your life, what kind of emotional stress do you have, physical, mental stress, there are so many reasons, you understand? But people rather judge, than have a conversation. And this is the problem. Even in this society here, we have it in the Gambia. It is present. It is actual. You see it everywhere. People easily judge.
Okay. Speaking of adjusting people's livelihood, if you were given chance to rule the Gambia, what would you change about it?
Gambia is an interesting country, and also it is a very small country, and we know that it is a poor country, a developing country. And the educational system is not up to standard. That is also known. There is data for that. So basically, if you want to change a country, you start by educating the people, the younger generation, because this is how many Western countries change, because everybody is given the possibility to go to school and learn. And also people should learn about politics. You see people who never been to school, being on the street talking about politics as if, they're politicians.
And some even call themselves politicians.
Exactly. And we have these kind of people who are active also in different political parties, just because they have a representation, they represent a specific group of people, and this is how politics works. You bring people into your party who have a huge representation. So you are looking for vote. Now that is your goal. So you look for people who can bring you more vote. So education is not a priority anymore. It's about who you know, not about what you know. And this is also a problem. So we all know that in the Gambia, many people are not haven't been to school or are illiterate when it comes to education. So people who cannot even read the newspaper, it is very, very difficult to talk to them about politics. And that's why we have in countries like Niger, where the government used to buy a bag of rice every 4 years before the election and then give it to the local people just so that they vote for him. And then they continue to suffer as in a routine over and over again, This is something that you make people addicted to something. like helping them every time that the election comes near, in order for them to vote for you, and then you keep power over and over again. You understand? So for me, that is a wrong concept. If we talk about politics, it's not that we decide what's going to happen for the country as in leadership. We let the people decide what they want for the country. And of course, in the Gambia, many people don't make decisions on their own. You see some people, my father was a UDP or whatsoever party, I'm also going to be the same party. And this is not a rational point of view, because every individual should understand political force before they get into politics. And that's why I should emphasize on it in schools. It should be taught in schools starting from grade 7, 8, 9. In fact, there should be a special topic, a special subject called politics, only politics, both national and international.
Different from the government subject?
Different from the government subject, yes. Different. I had government here, but trust me, it was all about memorizing. I memorized so many things just to pass my exams, and that didn't help me in any way. And the difference I realized is when I was there in Germany, it's not about what you memorize. It's not about how many assignments you have. We talk about current issues. We talk about international politics. We do it often, so often that people get used to it. You understand? It is integrated into their daily lives. So this helps. This makes it possible for them to participate in political activities. And this is not something I cannot say the same thing for the Gambia.
Yeah, but let's hope for the best.
Yeah,
certainly maybe things will change. Let's just
things will change. Things are changing due to globalization. Yeah.
But okay, there are two bodies. You have the government, and you have politics as well. You understand?
Yeah.
So will you be able to help me differentiate these two?
Well,
because okay, you have the government, but it's a political party that occupies the government.
Yeah.
But when you look at it, there are two different things, and sometimes people mix them up. Instead of putting state affairs on the government, they put it on a political party, thinking that okay, this person so and so is the president, so party so and so is responsible for the wrongdoings of the government.
Yeah. Well, basically, if you look at party system, for example, we have something called coalition also. It depends on which country we're talking about. So there is not something called one single party that rules the whole house. You understand? Because if we take the understanding of politics or government in this concept, then we are talking about dictatorship. You understand? That's why we have members of National Assembly, and these people who occupy the National Assembly are from different political parties, and they are also among the members who make laws, you understand, and who make decisions and whatsoever. But people tend to blame only the one executive person, which is the president, because he is the executive, you understand. He is the one who comes out on the television to make speeches, or he is the one who represents the Gambia. And that's why we call him the president. And of course, it is, to my understanding, it is okay when people think that he is the one taking care of everything. But in another, if you look at this thing in another perspective, you realize that most people want dictatorship. You understand? Because they don't understand the power they have with their votes. You understand? The power they have to talk with their political actors. Because every party, you have a political actor. So you should be communicating with these members because they are representing your party in the cabinet, in the National Assembly, and in any other branch of government, So that's why it is very important that people communicate. That's why I say it's also necessary that people understand the concept of government. You understand? It's not about my party or one party is the ruling party, and then you focus on this one party. No, you should also emphasize on the importance of your political members, of your party members, of your political actors, also to take part to do something. That's why they're representing you. This is what most people don't understand. They just think that if you choose someone, for example, and they don't win, they don't have any other responsibility. No, they still have responsibility. To transmit. To be the transmitter between the local people and the government. And if this was done, rightly, then people will not suffer, because people will understand that their needs have been heard. You understand? But that is not the case in many countries. I don't want to emphasize on the Gambia alone because
we are talking on a general
exactly on a general perspective.
Yeah.
But basically, politics is just a process. You talk about politics. We have democracy. You understand? We have monarchy. Monarchy is a system, or it's a kingship. It's a kingship system, for example. We have anarchy, for example. These are all types of government. You understand? So if you look at Gambia, if you talk about politics, we should just understand as a system what system of government is the Gambia dealing with, or is the Gambia using, to govern its country. And then we can talk about the government. If we're talking about democracy, okay, what kind of democracy? Is it direct or indirect?
Indirect.
And all these things matters. But people just wait for 5 years and then it's time to vote, let's go and vote. And this is not politics, Even within this 5 years period, you have time to gather information, to have
to analyze things,
to mobilize things, people, ideas, and go to different regions, different areas, you understand? Talk about politics, talk to people, make them understand the importance of their votes. Even, I know people who just go to vote every 5 years and they don't know who they're voting for. They just go in asking to vote. So which means they hear that, okay, kii léegi kii turam moo gën a am doole.
Wow.
They go and vote for this person.
Kii moo wax lu make sense.
Kii moo wax lu make sense.
Yeah.
They go and vote for him.
It happens all the time. And besides, like, okay, after the 5 years, that's the time Gambians decide who to vote for and who to choose as a leader. And I felt that is wrong. You understand? Because we should decide way before the 5 years. We should be watching. We should see things they're doing. If you say that you can handle this and that, you should be able to show me what you can do. We don't have to wait until a few weeks to election and you are telling me, okay, I will build a school for you. I will fix this road. I will do this. I will do that. That shouldn't be the case at hand.
But it's easy to fool a Gambian.
Do you think it's that easy?
It's easy to, you just promise them something, they say,
No, I don't think it's really easy. It's the level of sensitization.
And the lack of understanding of, what my own vote means to me or to my community or to the Gambia. People underestimate their cards. And that's the problem. They just, the card like and this is also a very known saying that people often say,
but I believe people like you will help us change that, isn't it?
Change what?
That perception about it's just a card.
Like I said, that is, like, if I were a teacher, or if, like, for example, my children, inshallah, my idol, I will advise them on this topic, you understand, but I wouldn't make them choose a specific party just because I like this party. You understand? I will help them understand politics at a very young age, because politics is what governs a country. And politics is very, very complex. You don't just understand it just like that. It is deep. That's why you have to take time, you understand, and make research and investigate. And this is the only way. You have people who have been promised over decades, that things will change, this will happen, that, and it never happens. It never happens. But still they vote for the same individual because they hope that this person will do what he promised. And this is what political actors are good at, to promise you something. And Gambians love it when you promise them. Most Gambians.
No, Thanks for, closing that chapter, because you've widened it and I was supposed to ask you something about that. But anyway, let's move on to the economical arena.
Okay.
Right now, as things are, they are really difficult. We are struggling and we are striving. Even food to eat, sometimes it's difficult for some people. What do you think is responsible for this? What's hindering our economy? I said, what's hindering our economy?
We have an inflation, you understand, in many Western countries. And their currency is stronger than ours, you understand? So when their currency is going down, our dalasi is going to fall, you understand? Because there is always a cooperation. And that's one of the problems. And that's why we have to, all of a sudden we have people, selling bag of rice, what used to be 1,200. All of a sudden it costs about 1,500, 1,600, 700. It's because the world is globalized. If things are expensive in Senegal, then it will have an effect in the Gambia.
To you, it's not due to negligence
Negligence of what?
of those responsible to control some of these prices.
That is okay. Price control is good for the country, of course. I totally agree with you, but it is difficult in the Gambia because depending on where you have your goods. If you buy something for, let's say, $5, and then they say you have to sell it for $6, and the transportation is not calculated, then you are making it difficult for the shopkeeper to make a profit. You understand, or the person selling in the market to make a profit, because they need to pay for transportation for the products that they buy. So before we talk about price control, we have to create sources or resources that makes it possible for people to work and earn good wages so that they can participate in the market. So that they can buy their goods and services in reasonable prices. It's not about prices going up, it's the salaries not going up. Salaries are staying at the same place. And that's the problem. So prices can go up because things are changing. Many countries are going through financial crisis. Recently, even Germany. So basically, things go up. It is normal things go up. But what is the government doing about people's salaries? Are they increasing the salaries? That is also one aspect. And also, you compare NGO to government officials, like their payment, what they pay, you realize that there's a huge gap. There's a huge difference. And I don't blame the government. Maybe they don't have the budget because in the Gambia, nobody doing their tax. You understand? Yeah. And also, that is another factor. Nobody kneeling there.
They don't pay tax.
But it's difficult. Gambia, it's difficult. And the government don't have enough resources, to be in control of everything, to control everything. Wow.
Certainly. Anyway, I know that time is not on our side, but conversation is awesome. I love the way we are dealing with it, and you've mentioned things here that are very great, and I think if we are able to do some of those things, it will aid in developing the Gambia. But then, do we expect you in the political arena in the coming years? Since you are one of the youths that study political science, and we need you in our political arena.
Because basically politics is interesting. Like I said, why to be a politician, it's not my number one priority. It's not my number one priority. I want to make money. I want to have my own business, and help myself, help my family, and help my community. Because this is also another way of helping people, you understand, evolve, So this is what I prioritize. It's not that I'm not interested in making a change in politics, but you must not be in politics to make a difference. You can also have money and help people, help build schools, you understand. Help create something that could help people or disabled people, that could make disabled people's life easier, much more easier, something like that. Like an institution where you give things to people who are less privileged, for example. These are all means of supporting your country. So politics is interesting, but the problem is you have to be a politician for your voice to be heard. You either be a politician or a rich person. So for me, politics is too complex.
But you are a politician.
I'm not a politician.
You are.
I'm a political science student.
No. After being a student, you are a politician.
No,
you have to agree to that. Don't run away. Don't run away from that. You have to agree to it.
I don't show much concern about politics because it interests me a little because I want to know what's going on in my country.
But you don't want to take part fully.
But I don't want to. No, I don't want to.
Okay.
Because I believe there are other ways also to make a difference. And being a politician not only in Gambia, in Africa, is very difficult.
All right.
It's a constant challenge, constant confrontation, constant control. It's difficult. And even if you want to be a loyal politician, a loyal individual who wants to represent the interests of your community, the interests of your people, there are some people out there who are doing things otherwise, So at the end of the day, exactly. And you cannot do your job like you want to do it. And for me, that's why I don't want to work for anyone also, because I don't want to be controlled. I want to do things how I believe that it is the right way. And if I need any advice, maybe from my wife.
But do you know that sometimes your right way is wrong?
Yeah, I know. That's why
and you need people to guide you.
That I totally agree with it. But we have different channels, different network, where you can also, question your decisions or whatever choices you want to implement. And that's why I said my wife, because she plays also a very important role in my decision making.
Okay.
It's difficult to work for someone because you don't have a peace of mind, you don't have a freedom. And the same applies to politics. And people, you cannot satisfy people. Anything you do is wrong. Anything you do is wrong.
That's true.
Anything, no matter how hard you try, you always have people who are against what you're doing. So, and the goal is not to satisfy everyone, but at least the majority. But the fact that we have people who support specific, who have a tradition of supporting certain political parties, it is difficult to see the person who's the person up there who's doing something good for the country. They don't consider it. For the fact that he is not from their party, it's nonsense what the person is doing. They always see something to criticize. and politics is not about ethnic group, it's not about community, it's not about Konbila Juge. That is not politics. We should represent the interests of the whole country, the whole the civilians. Because at the end of the day, they are living in the country, and they have to go through every decision that is made by the government. So, what is difficult? It's difficult. Politicians here, they threaten because of certain things that they do or that they say, and then they threaten to kill them. Coming from the civilians. There are certain things you say, people start insulting you, and they tell you it's freedom of speech. So, if the understanding of
democracy, democracy.
Wow, democracy. Many people talk about democracy, but there are also rules for that. Not everything you do is democracy. You have the right to say whatever you want as long as you're not insulting other people, the other party. Why if you don't just need mutaha dila saga dila wana wali democracy la. You saga president dila wana democracy la. It's not respect. And what I observe is Gambians don't respect decision, because if we talk, let's say there's an election and everybody voted for one individual.
It's a general decision.
This person comes to power. There are still people who will criticize the decision of the majority. It was scammed, it was corrupted, whatsoever. For me, I believe that if people come together and vote, and the results are out, you understand, we have to respect the results also.
Yeah.
Despite whatsoever happened before the results were out. It doesn't matter anymore. If you want to be a patriot, you have to respect the decisions of the majority. If not, you cannot claim to be a patriot. And that's the problem. Filulu is a big problem here. I'm a patriot as long as the person I support is in power.
That's true.
Yeah.
You just mentioned the truth. Anyway, from now Gambian will try to adjust to that a bit. Anytime we vote and we feel that the odds are not on our side, we'll anticipate for the next one and hope and pray that our candidate will win the elections.
And we don't even work together. There's no collectiveness.
There's no collectiveness.
That's why we have different political. Multi-party system is good because it enables competition between parties. But they compete in doing something what is best for the country. But not in the case of the Gambia.
Yeah, like I said before the last question, time is not on our side. They are signaling me that it's done. Anyway, since we will talk about it till tomorrow. But then, then we hope that when you come back in the Gambia again next time, you will come here and we will talk about something concerning politics. And by then, you will be in the political arena as well.
Well, guys, thank you very much for inviting me. It was fun. It was really nice. Yeah, what else should I say? I hope you guys gain something.
You're not going to say hi to somebody at home, your wife or somebody?
Well, anyways, I hope you guys gain something out of this interview. And yeah, like, support this website and support their channels. Yeah, and greetings to my wife. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's
okay. Anyway, guys, Momadou foofu lañ decide pour end rek. We would say ñu ngi leen a dig dox daje till we meet again. Next week rek inshallah. It's your mainly show, and I'm your host Mariam Kamara. You're watching Jungle Online TV. You know Jungle. We always bring interesting things to your doorstep. Keep watching and please like our programs, and if you don't subscribe, please subscribe. And we need sponsors too. If you want to do business, come down here. We can do something. We can see how best we can help each other. Rocky mi rokam la rek ñu jàppalante. Bye bye.